Hey there. Thank you guys for being with me today. I am here with my special guest, Allie Casazza. She is currently a behavioral neuroscience practitioner, but she did not start out this way. And so I'm really excited to hear her story of how it started and how it's going and share it with you as well. So, Allie, thanks for being here with me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
I am excited to get into your story. Offline, we were talking about how you started, and I was shocked to whenever you told me what it was. So let's just dig right in. Tell me a little bit about you and how you started out kind of in your professional career, because you said it's definitely not what you're doing now. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it feels like they have nothing to do with each other. So I actually I'll go a little bit further back just because it
Okay.
matters. But
Yeah, I love it.
I was actually brought up in an extremely extreme and like oppressive religious environment, and like literally like went to a school where they told us like they separated the boys and the girls, and the girls were taught how to like take care of a baby and cook, and the boys were taught how to like balance checkbooks and start a business and taxes and all that. So it was like very, very extreme. And then here I was like a natural entrepreneur. I've had entrepreneurial tendencies major since I was like super, super little. And so I got out of that environment and with somebody that I met there. And so we got married right out of high school and ended up like starting a family, having kids very, very young. I had 4 kids in 5 years. So by the
Wow.
time I was 27, I was done having all 4 of my kids. And I had nothing. Like I dropped out of school. College, like my brain being neurodivergent, feeling like what's the point of going to school if I'm not supposed to do anything
Yeah.
with it? Like, so it was just kind of it was just wild. And then long story short, over time, my husband and I like just really unpacked everything and came into our own truth and came into our own conclusions about things and walked away from being anywhere near all of that like whole belief system. And then through those years, I was blogging, like I had a decluttering and simplicity blog for other moms, and which is so wild. Like that is just not, I would never do that now. So it was so random. But it started to really pick up, and I was like, okay, I think I have something to offer here. People are being helped. Like I'm really just naturally good at simplifying things that are overcomplicated and
Mhm.
stressful. And so I ended up turning that into a business, and I sold my first course was a like home management decluttering course. And I sold that. It was a $99 course, and I used that and I turned that into a multi 8-figure company organically by
Wow.
myself,
What
no
year
ads.
was Give me some background, like, what year was this?
The year that it actually turned into a business and went like crazy was 2016. So
Okay.
very much like the industry has changed a lot and course sales and all of that has changed a lot, but
Yeah,
ended up
back then, though, that was prime time for funnels and online business and advertising and all of that, so
yep, it was
you were able
all
to capitalize.
new. Yeah, it was all new, and, like, I found my sweet spot. Like, I'm really good at, like, being on video and going live, so I did that all the time. Like, I grew this thing huge. And then along the way, I worked with people one-on-one. I had, like, 35,000 students in one course, and then I had other courses that I had made, so there was a lot of people kind of coming through the pipelines of what I'd built, and I just kept seeing, like, this actually has nothing to do with decluttering. Like, what is going on in people's homes is a
Mhm.
direct reflection of what is going on inside of them. And I'd always been kind of interested in psychology. So I kind of like went down that pathway a little bit, started to like, I was like, I'm going to go back to school. And it was quickly like that wasn't the exact path, but it led me into like learning about the mind, understanding it, knowing that there was something in that realm that I wanted to do more of.
Mhm.
And so then I got into something called psychocybernetics and
Yes.
began to study neuroscience and ended up going, and I just went and got like a bunch of certifications. Like I went on like a sprint where I could not stop learning. I was so on fire and excited about it. And I was bringing the stuff I was learning into the business, but I was still kind of pigeonholed in like the decluttering home simplicity space, mom space. And I did not want to be there anymore. I could feel like, when it's
Yes.
unaligned and it like physically hurts, like you want
Yep.
out.
Yep.
And so, yeah, so I ended up over a grueling process. Like it is so hard to pivot in such a big way. And then I also, at the same time, I didn't want to sell courses anymore. I wanted a membership. I wanted something that was recurring and more sustainable and required less like launching and pushing. And I was really drawn to a membership because I am such a chronic creator. I had like
Mhm.
20 something courses at the end of my old business. Like, tell me you need a membership without telling me, like, you just
Yeah.
need one place where everything is and people can kind of bop
Yeah,
around
so you don't
according
have
to
to
what they
keep
need.
launching these things and creating new, ways to sell it and all of that. Makes total sense.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like a double whammy, a complete pivot and like officially dropping the old messaging, the old like niche and shifting completely into the root cause of like why you know what to do and you don't do it. Why do some people easily release like extra weight and other people struggle so much? Other people have, a really easy time with like their home and maintaining their life and other people like can barely handle it. Like why and what is going on? Like I needed to understand that. And so yeah, now it's all neuroscience. It's all supporting people in basically like becoming the next level version of you, becoming who you want to be, who you've been, that vision board version of you or whatever. It can't be fluffy. It can't be bullshitty. It's science. It's fact. Like there's reasons why you have been the way you are. So that's what I do now. That's what I've done for the last 4 years.
It's really interesting to me, some things that stick out in what you just shared. You were in this very restrictive religious environment, and you were not brought up to think that you had the capability or duty or any way to do anything that you started doing. So, first
It
off,
was like the
you
right. Like, I didn't think I had the right to. Like, I didn't
yeah,
it was like I wasn't allowed to.
right. So you were in it was ingrained in you at a very early age and for over and over again that you are meant to have children and take care of a home. What part where did you decide like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna go to college?" Because to me, that doesn't seem to be part of that narrative from that school where you were, as a young woman.
My
So how did
parents.
college parents pushed you into
Yeah.
college?
Yeah, my dad is a Cuban immigrant, so he came here as a young person and met my mom and started a business, started like a whole life, ended up like supporting his parents. So he was very like it's very interesting because yes, my parents were religious. They still are. It's much softer now, thank God.
Mhm.
But it wasn't them. It was the school. I went to that school from the second I could go to school until all the way through senior year. And then even the college that I went to was a very extreme Baptist college.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, my dad was very much like, it's important to go to college. It's important to go to school, get educated, have a fallback. Otherwise you're going to be flipping burgers. Like that's what he would always say. So it was conflicting and I did feel that confliction. But honestly, I was just wanting to be good and do and make my parents happy and not be a disappointment, not do the wrong thing. That was very much like oldest daughter type of vibe.
Yeah.
So that's why I went and the second I got there, I was like, this sucks. I hate everything and I don't want to be stuck still sitting in a desk learning things that I don't even care to learn because I couldn't even get the
Yeah.
classes I wanted. Like I
Yeah.
just knew that the traditional way wasn't going to work for me and I was very scared about that because that was a big value for my family.
Right. So you're like, what am I supposed to do then? How did
Mhm.
you learn how to create a course or to package something to sell it? Because that is something back then it was amazing. It was just like if you had an idea and you could put it together, you can sell it pretty much. It is not
Yeah.
like that now. But
Yeah.
how did you what did you do can you talk me through, like, how did you have mentors? Did you have, did you study some way? What did you do to do that? Because that's incredible. First of all, you picked a niche, whatever,
Yeah.
and then you went with it. Something you were good at. It didn't mean that you were like, that was your life mission to help make kitchens,
Yeah.
decluttered or whatever, but you were really good at it. It came easy for you. You decided to show others how to do it. How did you learn to put that into something that people could purchase from you?
So the blog was like really small, but it did well. Like to me, I was like, wow, like there's hundreds of people that know about my website and like come and read and email me and stuff. So I was excited about that. And then my husband and I, we were like we had moved to a horrible like a Midwest. Like we were from California. We were in like the mountains in the middle of nowhere in Arkansas for his job at the time. And we had just like hit a limit. And I was just like, let me do this. Like, let me try to do let's figure this out. And he was always like he was a feminist before I was. He was like, hell yeah, like you have something. I know you do. And so we started researching, and he actually is the one who found, I don't know if you know who Mariah Caz is.
No, I
She's
don't
like
think I
one of
do.
the OG pioneers, like course creator queens. And he found her and sent it to me. And I saw this girl making over $70,000 a month with an idea that she had. And it was the most random thing. It was like restoring vintage campers or something. And I was like, "Oh my God, this is it." So then I started talking to my readers, like because they were asking me like, "What about this? What do I do about this? What if this happens? What if your kids or whatever?" And I knew all the answers to everything, and I was answering the same questions over and over again. So I
Yeah.
asked them, if I could put all of this together, would you buy it? And at first it was an ebook. I was going to do an ebook. And they were
Mhm.
like, "Yes." So I spent like 2 months going crazy, doing everything, dumping everything together, learning online how to sell an e-product. We had no money. Like we were getting evicted. We had our car repossessed. We were going to get food stamps. Like it was a really, really bad. Like the job that they moved us for was a complete lie. It was awful hours. He lost the job while we were there. It was
No.
just miserable. Like we were really not good. Like I
And you're
could not
so far
buy
away from your family and your support system.
everybody. Yeah. And so then it was like I literally had a moment where I was standing at the store with my babies, and like I needed to buy tampons and we needed toothpaste, and I couldn't get both. Like I remember standing there and being like, this was my breaking point. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely not. What is this? Like, no. And that's when I came home and I was like, we got to do something. Let's figure this out. We found Mariah. I started learning from her, did all that work, launched the ebook. I don't even think it made $50, and it was
Aw.
$19. Like, it was like, so, okay, this has to be something different. Maybe what that girl was saying about courses is it. Kind of just snowballed into that. And then the thing is, though, Amanda, is like it never just like, oh, it took off. Yay. Like it got to a point where every idea I had was just like a fart on the internet. Like nothing was hitting,
Yeah.
nothing was working. And I got to a point where I was like, well, I have spent time on this course and I have a really good feeling about this. Like, this is going to be something it was just like intuition. Even though it did not do well at launch, it didn't make money. It was really, really tough. And so I was like, I think at some point you have to decide it's going to work and there is no other option. Like, it's like make it or make it. That's it.
Yeah.
And so I stopped throwing noodles at the wall. I stopped like playing around with different ideas and just decided that the course felt really good to me and I was going to make it work. So then I went into studying like, how can I market this for free? What's a webinar? Like then that's how I figured out how I shine when I'm live on camera and
Mhm.
people can get in my energy. And so I was like, okay, it didn't sell anything, but people were there and it felt really good. I really liked it. So then how can I do a webinar for free and code it in from YouTube onto this landing page? Like I was just obsessed with figuring it out. And then eventually over time, we had a month where one webinar made my husband's income before his previous income. And that was huge. Like it was like, oh my God, like that was so much money from like just doing a video. Um, and so yeah, it went from there. So it was all like the University of Google and figuring it out myself. And I'm so glad because as I grew, I know how to do everything. I couldn't hire anybody that could like screw me over or tell me something took longer than it did. Like I knew how to do everything even as I got, further along and started delegating and stuff. So it was like me and all-nighters. I used to get up at 3:45 a.m. every single day for a year to work really early in the morning before Brian would go to work, before he didn't have the job anymore, and before the kids were up, and then work during nap time, stay up late. Like it was like I was on like just a high of
Yeah.
idea and opportunity, and I did not care. I was not going to stop. I was obsessed.
How did you keep your mindset in going in that positive direction when you are kind of getting kicked down with every idea you put out? So here's
Yeah.
something that a lot of people that I know and that I work with, they struggle with that visibility. It's like you feel so invisible, like you are really pouring your soul out and wanting to help so many people. And it seems like at every corner, every turn, like what you went through, everything you're putting out, it's like nobody can see it, nobody can hear you. How do you keep going and get through that? I wonder if it's almost like a rite of passage, like you just got to go through it to get to that other side. How did you keep going? Was it just because you had to, you had no choice, or was there
I do
something
think
else?
Yeah, I do think that was a really large part of it because I had already like spent so many hours like losing sleep and like trying to figure things out. Like it gets to a point where you're just like, "Oh yeah, no, this is going to work," because it just fucking will. Like it has
Yeah.
to. Um and then but also like I had this like I feel like this is gonna sound a little fluffy, but it's just what's coming up for me. I had this like connection to my new life that I wanted. Like that
Mhm.
I didn't know anything that I know now. I had never heard of anything that, you know, neuroscience, manifestation, affirmations. Like I did not know anything about that. I was very disconnected from that whole world because of my upbringing. I don't know, I just felt it and I just kept, like, picturing it and knowing it. Like, the biggest thing I would picture was going and getting the kids all new clothes and not having to look at the prices. For some reason, that was, like, really motivating to me because we had nothing. And, like, going to the grocery store and just getting what sounded good and not looking at the like, that was like filling the gas tank all the way up. That was, like, luxury. That might as well have been, like, a YSL bag. Like, I was
Yeah.
just so I just was, like, picturing those things, and I remember, like, I would go out into our driveway in Arkansas, and, like, we literally wouldn't know how we were gonna get food on the table that night, but I would stand out there and, like, think about it and connect to that. What would it look like? What would it feel like? Like, I was accidentally creating like the neuroscience of manifestation, the neuroscience of creating your life, and saying and thinking to myself like I am meant to be wealthy. I am the wealthy woman inside. I am wealthy. And it just felt crazy because I literally didn't know if we were going to be able to stretch one cereal bowl into four for the kids.
Yeah.
Like it was wild. So that, but then also like what you said, there was no option. Period. Like Brian had no job. I was actually insane and locked in on this. Like it was going to happen. There was no option. And then also on the practical side, it was like, if it's not working, then what else? What else can I do? Periscope came out. That was before Facebook Live. Periscope was huge. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go live every single day for 30 days and just see what happens. I'm going to keep doing everything else that I'm doing. But what could this possibly hurt? Even if no one watches, at least I'm getting better at being live. So I went live every single day for 30 days, ended up going all the way to like 100 and something days because it worked. It was like
Wow.
I was having people just flood in. People were finding me because again, I was in that zone of genius, that being
Yeah.
live and letting people be in my energy. And so that was so like, okay, we're gonna do that. Now what next? Let's do more webinars. What next? Like so it was like a mix of all those things of accidentally not realizing it, creating that next level life I wanted in my mind and feeling it in my body and knowing like I know that's meant for me. I just don't think we're here to struggle and suffer
Mhm.
without the choice, without the option to elevate out of it. So I'm going to. And then the strategy and then absolutely unhinged underdog. Like, I have to make this work. It's just not, I'm not available for it to not work.
Yeah. Do you think that part of your success, well, I'll say this. Do you think because you didn't know about the manifestation and the affirmations and all the stuff that's really, mainstream today, that
Yeah.
you had less resistance around creating and doing what you wanted? Or did you still have resistance coming up? So I see a lot of people, they want the things, but they argue why they don't have 'em, right? They will, and then the more they focus on why they don't have it, then the more they don't have it, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. But you didn't know about all of these intricacies at that time. So you had made possibly less internal resistance to getting what you wanted. Do you think that because you were less aware of the practices of manifestation, all of those things, that it was faster or easier for you?
I think that I didn't have, like, I didn't know all of that, so I didn't have the, like, how people, like, it's so easy for me at least to make things perfectionistic and like,
Mhm.
oh, you're supposed to do it like this. So let me go and sit and let me visualize and let me, you like, I didn't know any of that. So I just literally, like, I didn't know that what I was thinking and what I was feeling and doing in my mind was, I was just trying to make myself feel better. I was
Yeah.
stressed. Like, we were hungry. I was giving up meals so the kids could be okay. Like, it was really, really bad. So I was just trying to escape. It's like when you read a really good novel and you forget that you're stressed.
Mhm.
Like, I was not intentionally trying to create that. It just did, because now I know, especially with neuroscience, that is how it works. So, and then to your point about other people, I love that you said it that way and brought it up. Your subconscious mind will literally create everything that you just said, those reasons, like, well, it's because of this. Well, I can't because of this. And I like, it's literally going to grab onto the path of least resistance. What is the easiest, most obvious, make her believe that this is why excuse that we can come up with? Because going somewhere you've never been it turns on literal survival mode to your nervous system and your subconscious. It
Mhm.
is like, we have never been here before, so that means it's unfamiliar, which means it's unsafe. So even though what is familiar sucks,
Yeah.
we don't care. We just need to stay here because that's what we know. So this is why, abusive relationships can be
Mhm.
normal to you, familiar to you, even though it's awful. Chaos, poverty, being obese, being unhealthy, like all these things that are, you don't want them, but they're familiar to you. So you stay. So that was kind of how it felt. When I look back at it, that's how I perceive it. But also, I had a ton of resistance because I had programming that I'm not even supposed to be doing
Yeah.
this. And
Yeah.
and then I started making way more money, like way more than Brian ever had, way more than my dad ever had. My dad's a very successful businessman. I sabotaged so bad. Like, it was so, I had so much resistance around that religious programming, and, like, also just my circle. I went
Yeah.
from poverty to literally, if it sounds like, felt like overnight because everything hit and it hit really fast, but it took so long to get to that hit. So it felt like overnight we went to, like, I literally had like 30,000, 40,000, all of his money in my account that I'd never seen before. So it changed who I was in my circle. I lost friends.
Yeah.
Friends.
You
I
hear
was
about that,
perceived
and you
different.
never really talk to people that have experienced it, right?
It
But
was
I'm
so
glad that you brought
scary
that
and
up.
sad. Yeah. So, I mean, we're not just dealing with, like, oh, you're not meant for it to happen. It's a timing thing. Like, no, everything comes from the subconscious. 95% comes from the subconscious. You're not experiencing reality as it is. You're experiencing it as you believe it is, based on your neural pathways from life and experience and religion and society and all of that. So, now that I know all of that, I'm actually really shocked that I did what I did at the time that I did it and how quickly I did it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I do think that I didn't have anything to be perfectionistic about, or to, like, follow the rules and do it this way and then do EFT tapping and then go visualize for 10
Yeah.
minutes. I was just like, let me please escape my reality because it is miserable and I don't want to be in it, but I've got to be in it so I can push through and get out of it.
That's so amazing. You are so on it because, yeah, we get I'll say we, I mean staying with the positive thoughts and the futuristic everything. And then, once in a while, those other things creep in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just ruined it all. I just thought of that bad thing, and now it's all over. I got to start all the way at the beginning. That's not really
Yeah.
how it is. But when
Yeah.
somebody is that kind of perfectionist personality and wants to do everything, you know, right and perfectly and get the results really fast, when you do kind of hiccup off the side, it can set you back longer than it needs to. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. And then the other thing I wanted to say on this is like, there's so much, like you hit it on the head. There's so much like toxic positivity in self-help, manifestation, spirituality, next level, getting to the next level, whatever. One thing that I know for sure from everything that I've studied, you have to be real with yourself. You cannot gaslight yourself. You cannot bullshit yourself. You have to get the negative out and figure out like, what do you really feel? Be real with how you feel like, whatever it is. I feel like a failure. I feel behind. I feel like I'm not good at this. It's not meant for me. Be real with yourself. That's the stuff. Those are your beliefs that we have to shift. And
yeah.
there's so many very simple, doable, easy, I would even dare to say, ways to literally use neuroscience techniques that you can do on your freaking couch in 5 minutes to disprove those beliefs and rewire your brain so that it doesn't even resonate anymore. It doesn't feel true anymore. And you really have crossed to the other side and you believe what you want and need to believe to get where you want to go. So it's like the affirmations are honestly, they're bullshit. You can do like these potent power statements that are hypnosis encoded and things like that that actually work. But affirmations and positivity is not shit. Like you have to be real with yourself and you have to express it. You have to get it out. You have to look at it because that
Mhm.
is the list of work to do to get to the other side so that success is just natural. It's safe. It's familiar. Your brain's not self-sabotaging it anymore.
Right, because you can repeat some statement about yourself, but you don't believe it at all. And so what's the point? You're just keeping in the same loop of like your body will say it, your brain will go, "Nope, that you're nuts. We are not that." And it'll bring you right
Exactly.
back down, even no matter how many times you say whatever the thing is. Yeah, I
Exactly.
totally
Your
I have
subconscious, I call it your subconscious set point. It's like a thermostat. You have a set
mhm.
point for everything. How much money you can make, how much money you can hold and keep, the weight that you're at, the happiness in your relationship, everything. Your subconscious set point decides everything. It's biology, it's neuroscience. You cannot fight with it. You might as well understand it and then use it in your advantage.
When you were started out making so much more money than you'd ever had before, how did you keep it? Because, you
Well, I
hear
didn't.
people you hear people, they win the lottery, for example, and then it's gone. Or like athletes, they get paid, millions of dollars in a contract, and then they're broke by the second year that they're, still playing in the NFL. So, how did you guys get through that to where you're able to keep what you're making now and build upon that?
Yes. So sabotage shows up differently for everybody. Mine was I'm really generous. I know what it is like to be hungry. I know what it's like to have nothing. And so anything that's a good thing about you can become a toxic part of you. So even generosity. So I was super generous and then I was making all this money, but I didn't feel worthy of having it. And I had all these subconscious things I wasn't aware of. So my toxic trait was overgiving. I would
Mhm.
literally leave envelopes with thousands of dollars in them in between like books at the kids section and Barnes and Noble so that a mom would find it. Like I would leave it at like the WIC center, like in the formulas at the baby formula at Target. Like I did all these little secret things that made me feel worthy. I wasn't
Mhm.
even doing it because I wanted to help. It was like subconsciously selfish. Like I just wanted to feel like, see, look, I'm good. I'm going to
Yeah.
do good with it. I had nothing for the longest time. Like even just a few years ago, this began to really shift for me. So that whole time I was making $270,000 a month and I had nothing.
That's unheard of. People are listening going, "Are you kidding me? I would keep that." But you
It's
can't control it.
embarrassing. Yeah, you can't. It's so embarrassing because you look back and you're like, it's so dumb, but you are not aware. Like, I didn't know anything that I know now. So I was just like, look how good I am. Look how nice I am.
Yeah.
See, like, I'm worthy. I'm good. I'm meant to be rich because I'm feeding people. Like, bitch,
Huh?
you can feed people for less than $100,000. Well, what the heck? Like, so it was like, that was one way. Then I kind of like stopped doing that so extremely, like, and I shifted to like, okay, this isn't smart. Like, I need to like, I couldn't pay my taxes because I gave all my
Yeah,
money
you didn't have
away.
anything left.
Yeah, so I shifted it and it started showing up in smaller, little sneakier ways, but now it's like once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. So it was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm doing it again. And so like really getting into like, no, like it is safe and okay for me to be stacked. I could make
Mhm.
money, but I couldn't hold it. So I
Yep.
had to shift to stacking it, holding it, keeping it, seeing it in my account and not immediately feeling guilty and giving it away to everybody. So that everyone has their things. That was mine. And then, like I said, it kind of shifted into other things. And like even now I'll notice like, I'm trying to get a dopamine hit by buying
Yep.
something because I'm
Yep.
overworked. No, like we need to regulate. This is not how I'm choosing to be with my money. But once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it.
So self-awareness is so key to this, and being okay with recognizing your own patterns and then doing something about them. Like, I think a lot of people know their patterns, but they settle into them. Like, that's just how I am. And that's
Yes,
that person. But the self awareness is powerful. It's not always fun, it doesn't
not at
always
all.
feel good. But I love that you're able to recognize it in yourself, which probably then helps you help others recognize it in themselves, right? You can see, and that's how I am too. I can see things that others can't see because I am not in it as much as they are, right? And I'm sure you're the
Totally.
same way.
That's the hard part about like I like especially like when you're like a coach and you're literally helping other people. It's kind of embarrassing because like you're in the weeds of your own mind, you're in the weeds of your own life, and you like, God, I know I have this pattern, but I don't even have time to stop and look at why or where it's coming from. And then I'm over here helping my clients. Like I'm just like, well, there it is again. Let's rewire it. Meanwhile, I'm like doing the same things for years. So yeah, it's very humbling, and I think that's why it's important, like, therapists have therapists, like, a coach
Yes,
should have a coach.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit now about what you do. You were from, helping people organize their homes and their lives to creating courses to going, being all over social media as much as you can to what are you doing now?
Yeah. So as I said, I switched to a membership model a few years ago, and my God, a whole other separate episode for selling memberships versus courses. It is so different. But yeah, basically like I created two memberships, one for entrepreneurs and one for just lifestyle, just wanting to rewire, losing weight, improving your life in general, whatever. And that one is called Becoming Her Collective. And so that is like I said, I'm a chronic creator. There are so many like series and courses and mini series that you can go through by topic. And then the main thing is I essentially create rewiring tracks all week long. So your subconscious mind is always picking up stuff. Like you don't need to be cognizant aware of it and paying attention to it. It's picking up everything all the time. And so if you listen to like a lo-fi track while you're working, and it's got subliminals in it that are in line with what you've been focusing on in your life, what you want to change, how you want to be, whatever. It has to be something that's aligned for you. Otherwise, your
Mhm.
subconscious will disregard it because it's not important to you according to, your filter. So if you've been thinking about like, I really want to grow my Instagram and I want to get to $10,000 months. And you've been saying that and trying it and failing, and it's just been kind of going by. It's already important to you. So subliminals for that magic. Like your subconscious soaks it up because you can't consciously hear the words. So there's no room for your conscious mind to be like, that's not
Yeah.
really true for you.
Mhm.
Like your subconscious is just like, yes, ma'am. Okay. Like it just soaks it up. So those tracks are super powerful. So I create like vaults of just by topic. What are you going through? What do you need help with? Here's the tracks. I'm a master hypnotherapist. So which is so funny because I was anti-hypnosis until I learned it. Now it's my favorite technique. So there's all the hypnosis tracks and all of these things that people can just use to take neuroscience in the middle of their busy lives and have it working in the background for them. And then, yeah, I do client work as well. I only take 2 clients at a time. It's not my favorite, but I do like that one-on-one impact. I just don't want to have calls all day. That's why I
No,
have the
yeah,
membership because I can like,
yeah.
it's like I can just the money is coming in recurring, but I'm creating when I feel inspired and adding to that, big stack for my members. So, yeah, that's kind of
Without
my
constantly launching things.
Yes, I like I said, I still do live. I still love webinars. I feel like webinars have been through a journey the last decade,
Mhm.
and opinions about them. And I'm doing one after this in an hour. Like I love being live. I love getting people. If I can get people in a room with me and explain to them and let them feel the passion that I have and let them understand, it's literally why anything that you have not been able to accomplish, anything, it's all because of subconscious. And I know exactly how to take all that complicated science and break it down into like a simple, repeatable process that you can do in 15 minutes a day and like literally change your entire life. How am I not going to be excited about that? So if I can get them in the room with me and explain that, my energy prints members every single week.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How
Yeah. So
how
that's
can
like how
people
I run everything now.
do you do in-person things or mainly just online?
Yeah, I do in-person things. I am like a homebody, so I'm super selective. Like I don't love like traveling and doing all of it. But when it's like the right thing, like I just went to Georgia and spoke at a podcasting conference. Because I've had the Purpose Show since day one, and it's just constantly bringing in leads. So doing things like that, like I love it. If it's aligned, I'm like, oh my God, especially like a small group of
Yeah,
women or entrepreneur. Oh my God. I just love being in the room with people who care, who are done with their own BS and are ready for things to really shift. It is my favorite thing, however that looks. The membership in person, whatever it is.
incredible. I love it. How can people find you and connect with you online?
I'm an Instagram girl. So just search my name on Instagram. It'll come up, purple headshot. Find me on there. And then yeah, I do like live classes every single week. They're free and I'm like super loyal and committed to like this work and helping people feel it even if they're not paying for it yet. So in my live classes, like I know this might not make perfect sense and we don't have time to explain it, but I literally put like hypnosis and coding for shifting and for becoming consistent and rewiring your brain in my free classes. So even just by getting in the room and turning everything else off and listening for 45 minutes, your brain is already softening those old neural pathways and already becoming ready for new ones. Like everything I do is infused with what I know works. So that's why like you don't just leave me and feel the same. Like
Yeah,
it's not me. It's you. But I know how to get that to feel different. I know how to get you to elevate and to just feel a shift even just by listening to me. So it's valuable. So go on
yeah.
Instagram, find the link and come hang out with me. It's once a week and it'll change your life.
I'm gonna do it.
Hey, hell yeah.
I love this conversation. I'm so happy that our paths crossed and that I got to learn a little bit about your story. It's so powerful and so
Thank you.
relatable, especially for not just moms or not just women, but just people. We all have this journey, and you don't have to stay somewhere where you're not fulfilled, where you don't feel aligned, where you're not happy. Like you are right. At the beginning of our conversation, you said you are meant to feel good. You're meant to be great. You're not meant to be here and be just mediocre or miserable.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's like it's everyone. You're so right. Like I work with moms still. I have one of my clients, I mean, I've worked with athletes many times, but one of my clients right now is a professional athlete and he's bringing the same patterns, the same issues that the stay-at-home mom I worked with last year had. Like
I know
it's
it.
all of us. Yeah.
I know it. And once you can see it, You cannot unsee it. So I have a great group of friends here where I live, and we watch them play tennis. And so
Okay.
right now, this is like our highlight of the year because we have all like Wimbledon's getting ready to start. We have the US Open. We have all these Australian Open, all the things. So we watch it together, and I can see the athletes crumble under their own thinking right there on TV while they're starting out so high and they're doing so well. And then if you've seen that, if you in any sport and you just see them like just defeat themselves,
Yep.
oh my gosh, it's
Been
so,
here.
yes, it's so incredible. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter if they're making $250 million a year or whatever. We all struggle with these basic things. And there
Yeah.
are people like you to help us through them. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That made my day. I didn't know how this was gonna go because we didn't really get to like meet at the
No.
summit we were both at. But I was just like, I don't know, like I watched your thing and I was like, I just feel really drawn to her and you shared your link. I'm like, I don't know, I just felt it. So I'm so
Thank you.
glad we
I'm
got to
glad you did.
actually connect.
Me
Yeah.
too. I'm going to put all your links in the show notes. And I'm excited to publish this thing to get it out to the world. Thank you so much for your time today. I am looking forward to following you more and going to some of your live trainings. Hopefully, maybe even collaborate with you on some projects moving forward. So, appreciate
Yes.
you being here. Thanks so much.
Thank you.